Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the final episode in our 4-part series of the What, Why, How, and Insights into Websites. I'm Claire Daniels, CEO of Trio Media.
I'm Annie Singh, CEO of Bobble Digital.
And I'm Anushka Tsakanya, CEO of Burnley.
Welcome back. We hope you've enjoyed this series so far. And, we want to just recap on some of the previous episodes. If you haven't listened to them, we definitely recommend you go check them out and give you some key takeaways that hopefully you can go away and implement into your own business. So in episode 1, we covered off the what of websites. So, what does it take to have a great website? What does having a user-friendly website mean, and what value adding video into your website can have? We then explored in episode 2 more of the whys. So why should you invest in your website? Why a great website is going to need things such as video, mobile responsiveness, site speed, and SEO, and also why and the benefits of adding video onto your website. In episode 3, we covered off the how. So how to optimize your website for conversions, how to drive traffic to your site and promote your site, and all the different tools that you can use, and how easy it is to actually go and add video onto your website and get started with video on your site. So what I really wanted to do, there was loads of great nuggets that hopefully people are already really inspired by in those previous episodes, is just do a roundup with the speakers today in terms of what your key takeaways were and any advice that you would give to other people. So Anush, I'm going to come to you first. In summary from everything that we've learned about websites so far, what were your key takeaways that you think are going to be valuable to our listeners?
We talked about a lot of stuff concerning website. I think that would be really essential for our listeners, of course, to go back and listen separately each episode. But just overall to say, as we understood, website is part of your business, and you can't survive without it. And you can't really think that your business, the website is not part of your business, because website is good for every business, every type. And it's not only you are an online business or you are offline, everybody needs it. It's like you don't have a social media channels. It's the same way. You don't have a website. You are like, you don't have somehow to show what are you, who you are. So just to overall tell you about sum up of all the episodes concerning video. You should consider video as part of your website, because nowadays it's helping you and your customers to get more engagement, first of all. And video, you need to consider it not only as part of your strategized content, but as part of your design materials, because it's really working great for UI UX design as well, and not only as part of your content. And of course, video is the one content type that will help you to increase your dwell time, will improve your ranking, will boost your conversion, and of course will increase engagement. So you can later see all these customers that knocking your door and asking for cooperating with you. I'm telling you from my experience. And just to give you a small advice about what I would suggest and what we did for our website as well, we took a lot of time to planning it, first of all. We just not sat down and just created a website, but we planned and we started to think instead of our customers, if they enter to our website, how they can understand what we are doing, what information they can get from us, how they can, let's say, be interested to cooperate with us, and how they can contact us in the best way. And sometimes even doing some A/B testing is really great, because it's not like one-time. A website is not like you're just creating it and it's full for 10 years. No, you can change it every day, and you need to improve it every day, because also the technology is going really fast. You need to be up to date all the time. So first thing I would suggest doing also some A/B testing. Try different ways, see how your customers are actually reacting to them. For example, in our website first page, we have 2 buttons for the contact us. First is a free strategy button that people can just click it, give us some information, and get a free strategy from us. And the second one is actually sending us voice messages, not a voice let's say messages, but the voice ones, because we wanted to really see, will people be interested more to send us a message or to write down all this information? And surprisingly for us, people they are getting even excited to send a voice message and tell us their stories. So that's A/B testing gives us this solution that what our customers actually are looking for. So I think that could help our customers to understand overall what should I do with their websites.
That's amazing. And do you know what? That's the first time I've heard of anyone doing that, as a call to action, having people send voice notes. So I absolutely love that. And that just shows, again, we've covered so many different areas, but there's still other things that you could do, but it's always going to come down to understanding your customer. So what were your key takeaways, Manny, from what we've covered?
I really like this series because it really sets up the rest of the series that we've got planned coming in a few months. Because without the website, everything else we talk about, SEO, video, PPC, all these elements, analytics strategy, it makes no sense without obviously the fundamental. And your website is your foundation. It's one of the key foundation blocks along with everything else within your business. So when I look back at the what, why, how, I'm looking at some of the stuff I said. So, from our perspective is, really before you come out to an agency like us in terms of, I need SEO, I need PPC, I need paid media, which is actually an investment into that agency for their time, but also into paid media, have a good look at your website. Are you happy with it? Try and put yourself in your customer's shoes. Would you buy off that website? Would you convert or inquire? And if you're not sure, go out and ask friends, go and ask your clients and get their feedback. And if that's not the case, then that means the first thing you need to do is focus on your website. You need to understand, what purpose does this website serve? Is it serving the purpose that we need it to serve? But more importantly, before you invest in paid media, invest in your website, because that's the first thing we're going to do. We're going to have a look at your website. We're going to then say, right, before you start with these elements, you need to consider that. And normally we end up coming to you, Claire and Tria, saying, this website needs to audit. We're not happy with it. Can you recommend some key changes for this potential client? So that's the first thing, is make sure that your website is, presentable, in a way that if you are going to invest more money in terms of promoting it, that you first invest in the website first. The second is, your website needs SEO. And we'll talk about this in probably one of our next two series. There's no point having a website and not maintaining it and making it discoverable to your potential customers. I see this a lot with, customers that come up and said, oh, we just spent £20,000 on doing our website. And then we do an SEO audit on them. And we're saying, well, look at all these problems, that have occurred because you've just neglected your website. Don't go and spend £20,000 on your website and think that's it. I never need to look at my website again. No, there's a lot of maintenance and ongoing technical and on-page optimizations you need to do. And it comes back down to strategy with your website is, if you're going to invest in your website, you need to invest in the ongoing support of that website, not just from a perspective of that web agency or web developers or in-house resource, maintaining and supporting making that website, is because you're always going to be coming up with new content, new services, new products, and new content to kind of help educate. See your website also as an educational tool, because that's one of the key elements that SEO works on. Google is trying to humanize itself in a sense that, most of the people on Google are searching for answers to questions they're putting in. So your website needs to be in a position not just to kind of say, we offer these services, but, go have a look at our blogs on our website. It's all educational focus. It has no real call to action. It's there to answer questions that our customers might have before they consider doing SEO, before they consider doing PPC. So that's one of the key things, is invest in your SEO, because investing in your SEO on your website is going to be key to make sure that investment in your website is maintained and you start seeing that return on investment. And then finally is promoting your website before you do it. And we never really discussed this, is, do a digital, come up with a digital strategy that supports your business strategy, overall objectives. Understand what it is you want to do before you drive traffic to your site. A lot of clients come up to us and say, oh, we want to start promoting our website and we want 100 leads, a month. And my question, and they said, oh, we're going to do that by Facebook. And I'm like, well, how do you even know Facebook is the right channel for you? And it comes down to making sure you have a strategy in place, because you don't know, understanding your audience. And that's where stuff like Google Analytics is, again, and this is what I want to stress for this final point, is Google Analytics gives you a lot of data in terms of what landing pages your customers are going to, who your customers are, where they're coming from by region, their age, what time they're spending their website on. Really understand who your customers are converting. By knowing where they're coming from by source as well, because it tells you if they came direct, if they came organically, if they came from Facebook, if they came from PPC. Understand where your customers are coming from and what kind of content they're consuming and how much time to spend on your website, because that will help serve actually us coming out saying, well, actually, yes, we need to invest in SEO, we need to invest in PPC, and finding that element out. So promoting your website is key, but understanding your audience and your actual understanding the data from your website is more important before you consider that. So data analysis is everything before promoting your website, and taking that data from your website is key.
Yeah, I think that's a really great point. And something that you both touched upon covering off is the need to constantly update and change your website, so it shouldn't be seen as something that you invest in once and then leave and it's just going to work for you. The same way as, in previous episodes, we were talking about a website, considering it like a member of staff, consider it like a salesperson. You would continue to develop that person, invest in them, want to build them up to be an even better version of what they were when they started with you. And you should absolutely have that same mentality when considering your website, and keep it updated, and know that, as soon as it launches, that's a moment in time and you can continue to evolve. Really, you should be adding blog posts every week and changing imagery often. And, you might add a new offer or new product depending on what it is you do. So it should be seen as something that is constantly evolving and adapting. Manny, you mentioned a lot about Google there and the SEO side. And, I really enjoyed your comment, the quote that you said about how Google is like a mountain. You can't move it, but you can climb it. And that was one of my key takeaways, is just as a really simple way of helping people understand the power Google has over the market and how you should interact with it. So I think that's a key takeaway for people. And then as well, I would really encourage listeners to think about doing the exercise that I mentioned that we really try to do with every new website that we're working on, is that 20 reasons piece. So you're looking at the 5 reasons people will buy from you, 5 reasons they won't, 5 reasons people will come back, and 5 reasons they don't. So if you can go through with your team, whether you do it on your own, you do it with a team of people, and really be honest with yourself about the answers to those. And then you look at how you can answer that through your website. Some of the answers to those pieces might be through imagery, it might be through video. Like people think our product is really complicated. So then you do a how-to video showing people how to use it. So it really helps guide you into the type of content you should be creating on your website and that structure of how your website should be built. So I think we've covered some brilliant topics. I really hope everyone's enjoyed the first part in this new series that we're doing, that aim to provide a lot more value to whether you're a small business owner, large business owner, you might manage marketing within a business. We hope that's helped provide some value. And over the next few series, we're going to be diving into a lot more about the other wider digital marketing areas that we've touched upon in our conversations so far. So, as well, I think it's definitely worth mentioning on this podcast, myself, Manny and Anush, we are a team of experts. This is the stuff that we're doing day in, day out. So if you have heard anything that you would like to have a wider conversation about, and you would like to reach out to us, then please do. You'll find us all online if you search our names, and if you search our company names, you'll find our website. So please do feel free to get in touch as well if you have any more questions. So without further ado, thank you for listening. We hope you've listened to the whole series and really enjoyed that. If you have, please don't forget to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We would really appreciate it, along with any feedback that you have. And thank you to Anush. Thank you to Manny. And we hope to have you back again soon. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.